Hey, this is Burnett with the Buyer's Box podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Cole Watkins.
Hey, I guess this is where I introduce myself.
I'm still I'm still working on the intro, people. I'm sorry.
No worries. Hey, Cole Watkins with the Bridge Group. We have a team. I guess depending on the day, Allie, you know this. It's between 55 and 60 agents here in Houston, Texas, and we just are coming off of our best year in real estate production. Our company is about 7 years old, the Bridge Group, and there's a lot of new things for us at the Bridge Group. We just started and partnered with Responsive Mortgage as well. So all good things and excited to share. I think we're talking about open houses.
Yep, we're going to talk about open houses. We're in a second home market. Are you in a primary home market or a second home market?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on where you're at, but Houston, you got 7, 8 million people in it, and then you get Houston is very wide, and so we have like Galveston is a very primary second home market, but everywhere else is pretty much primary home.
Okay, awesome. And so we have followers all across the United States. And, obviously, open houses are, I think, something that when you think about a real estate agent, it's like the most traditional, like, thing that a real estate agent does. And so I really want to kind of dive in because I think you mentioned you and your wife closed 70 houses a year just off open
Mhm.
houses, right?
Yeah,
That's huge. That's
yeah.
huge. So tell me a little bit, like, what are you doing before the open house? How are you prepping? Like, how are you doing it?
Well, I think maybe going into it because as soon as we said open house, I think a lot of people you just lost a lot of listeners. They were like, "Oh man, hard work." For me, the concept there's really no, in my opinion, even an online lead isn't as committed as a open house lead because that person, an online lead, they can be in their boxers sitting there in bed doing this and reaching out to you. It takes very little commitment, but the commitment level for someone to come into an open house is the same commitment level as someone walking into a dealership, right? A car dealership. And so we don't have like modern offices today, real estate offices aren't necessarily like a dealership where people are coming in all the time. They're
Mhm.
clicking right now, as of what the last 10, 15 years. But an open house really is, at least the idea is that that is our car dealership and we need to market, we need to put the signs out, we need to draw traffic in, even if they weren't looking for that house. And so that's, I think, what you want to get into today on this one. But if we think about it as these are hot and ready leads, like these people are taking time out of their day, out of their really their weekend. They're working 40, 60 hours a week and they're taking time out of their weekend to come to your open house. That's a hot lead, man. I don't care what you say. That is at least bare minimum a warm lead. That's why I love them.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. And I think sometimes open houses get a bad rap because you think about the nosy neighbor, you know, or that sort of thing. But from what I'm hearing, it's really about preparation, putting in the hard work. So what are you doing? Like, okay, I have the home on 123 Sesame Street. I want to do an open house this weekend. How are you prepping? What do I need?
Yeah, let's go back to the nosy neighbor. Those are my favorites. Do you know how many listings I've gotten that were nosy neighbors? I do the open houses largely for the nosy neighbor that walks in because I'm going to sell their house. If they're walking into the house, look, this isn't like, like it used to be where, everyone knew each other and they had barbecues in the cul-de-sac and all, like we just don't do that anymore necessarily. So that like the nosy neighbor is coming in because they're nosy about their price compared to the neighbor's house. Okay, they listed here. How does their house compare to my house? And they're interested in a value. I set the appointment there, and we'll talk about that. I think in the next episode, not this one, but
Okay.
for us, I love the nosy neighbors, and I do everything I can to bring in as many neighbors as possible. I'll tell you how. Okay, so if we are going to get into, I'm doing an open house on Saturday, and or Sunday, and I actually still do open houses with our agents, especially our new agents, to walk them through the scripting, let them see me convert, and then I hand off the lead to them. But the thing is that if I'm doing an open house on Saturday, Like I'm already behind if I haven't started working on this. I'm creating a Canva flyer that is saying, open house, you're invited kind of thing. Your
Okay.
neighbor's house at 123 Banana Street, you are invited. And I am personally walking around to the 50 to 75 houses around that property. And that's why it's called circle prospecting. We'll walk around to all of those houses, knock on the door, and everyone is so afraid to knock on the door because they feel like, well, I have to sell them something now. Like I'm gonna pitch them and they're gonna be upset with me. If you do that, then yeah, you're gonna be like they're gonna be very upset with you. You're interrupting their day, you're interrupting their dinner, you're interrupting the game, whatever it is. But that's the first step, circle prospecting. And you can circle prospect door knocking and you can circle prospect dialing. I know Dustin Runyon, they have 22-minute conversations a day. That's how they have it is circle dialing on all of their listing properties. You can circle prospect for the open house, coming soon, under contract, or just sold. So it's a wonderful way to have those conversations. And then I think and then we'll get into the signs. Did you want me to go into the circle prospecting dialogue as far as when I knock on the door, what do I say?
Yeah, I think so. So, after this episode releases, we're gonna have an ebook, and so the ebook, we're gonna drop the scripts as long as you're okay with it. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so start with the door knocking. So, knock on the door. What are you saying?
Yeah. So I have a handful of flyers, right, in my hand, and I'm knocking on the door, and I'm in my mind, I'm saying I'm inviting these neighbors to the open house to give me the one thing that all of us want to give everyone, which is our opinion, right? So like we all want to give our opinion, and so if I invite them to give me their opinion, no matter what mood they're in, they're gonna be open to doing that. So I knock on the door. They answer. I'm holding my cards. I'm standing not right on the door. I'm standing about 6 to 9 foot back. And I'm a larger person, so like I'm standing a little bit further away. For the ladies of the bridge group, I'm always like, look, like you guys are gonna crush it, and they do. But people are hesitant to open the door for me. They're not for all our ladies. So the ladies definitely have an upper hand on door knocking. Knock on the door, they answer. Hey, it's Cole Watkins with the Bridge Group. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm actually here to invite you to your neighbor's house just down the road. You probably saw my sign out there. We are having an open house this weekend. And I just want to invite you, if you haven't been invited already, to come check out our listing. And you know more about this community than I do. You live in it, you're a neighbor. I would love your feedback and opinion on our listing. Okay, that's all. I'm just inviting them to come and be with me during the open house, see their neighbor's property. And then I'm going to transition right into, and then I'm going to let them talk or pause. Oh, okay, yeah, thanks. I might be able to make it over. Okay, great, great. Hey, while I'm here, we've been able to sell, last year, and I just leverage our numbers, right? Like, last year, our team, we were able to sell a property a day. And so, like for us, we have a really good bead on the market. Do you have any questions about this crazy real estate market that we're in right now? And I just leave it. Like I let them sit on that. Now, if they don't have if they do have questions about it, then you answer the question and dig a little deeper to see if they have any interest in selling their property or getting a home valuation. If they're like, no, not really, not at the moment. Hey, one last thing before I let you go. One of your neighbors down the street, I'm actually running a home valuation, home equity update for them. They were just wanting to know what their house would go for in the market value, not county appraisal value. So I'm running that by and bringing it over to them tomorrow at 2:30. Were you interested in me running something up like that? If you're home, I can run it through. I can just drop it off at the front door. Would that sound like something of value to you? Either yes or no, and then I move on. But I'm trying to monetize the no. That's really what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to do that on the door knock, and I'm going to do that on the phone call. Doesn't matter. It's the same script.
Okay. And then, so how are you tracking this information? So you're at 123 Banana Street for the open house, and then you're at like 127, a little bit further down. Do you have a notepad? Are you doing it in the CRM? Like, how are you tracking
Yeah,
this?
you just got to use your phone. I just have a notes page in my phone. Maybe there's some other like tech that you can use for it. But for me, I'm just using a notes in my phone, and if I have a good conversation and I'm getting their contact information, then I put that in the CRM afterwards. But like while I'm going, if I'm trying to carry a clipboard and then the flyers, and it just doesn't work. And especially here in Houston, where it is hot and humid, you want to get in and get out. And so, yeah, I'm just using my phone. Afterwards, I upload everything into the CRM and then do my follow-up based off of that.
Okay. And then out of all the homes that you're going to, how many of them are like inviting you inside and then it becomes a longer conversation? Or is it mostly outside?
Yeah, no, the majority of the time it's outside. And you know, it's funny. The best conversations, the majority of the ones that I've ever converted, are they're sitting on their front patio, they're sitting in their garage, they're cleaning their garage, they're carrying groceries in, whatever else. And all of those have turned into not just one transaction, but multiple transactions. So one we had on Caney Fork and Firethorn here in Katy, Texas. 16 transactions came from that one deal. I was circle
Wow.
prospecting, had my flyers, walked up, and they had a four-car garage, and the whole family was in it cleaning it. And they were like, "What do you got for us?" And I just said, "Hey, look, I just want to let you know about your neighbor's house down the street, right?" And they're like, "Oh, I saw the sign go up." And then they said, "You know what? It must have been God because we're cleaning our garage so that we can move to Arizona." It's like, all right.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I got the listing, and 16 pieces of business came off of that one. And that was a $630,000 deal. So everything else was in that price point. I mean, it works, but that was pre-open house stuff. That was before the open house even happened, right? You're getting business from it.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. So now flip of the coin. What about calling? What's your script when you're circle prospecting by calling?
Same thing. Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
exact thing. It's just except I'm calling and I'm not sitting there with a flyer, right? I'm using the flyer. I try to do the flyer the day before or 2 days before I call so that I can it's the Chet Black, did you get it script, right? It's
Sure.
the hey, it's Cole Watkins. You probably got my flyer on your front door. I just want to give you a call. And that way you can put a face with the name. And you've probably already saw my sign on your neighbor's house down the street. And I don't really go into specifics necessarily, but I try to use your neighbor's house quite a bit so that it piques their interest and now it connects them to the reason I'm calling.
Sure. Okay. That makes total sense. So you're doing the circle prospecting. What else do I need to do before the open house other than the
Tho-
flyer?
Those two things are extremely important because they're prospecting in and of itself, right? We're trying to get our amount of conversations we need to hit our goal in our production this year, right? So we're trying to, if we're not outbound, if we're not having these conversations, then essentially we're just waiting for conversations to happen to us, and that's just not how this business works. So I'm trying to have those conversations there, and then I'm trying to direct more people to the open house. Now, by directing them, we give every one of our agents about 20, 25 open house signs when they sign on to our team. And they're responsible for those signs, right? They're big, they're like 2 foot wide signs, branded. And it's great because you drive all over Houston on Saturday and Sunday and see all of these signs everywhere. But we encourage our agents to go overboard. The agents, and I'm not saying agents are everyone's lazy. And so I've noticed that whenever I give our agents, most agents signs, I'll go and I'll check in on their open house and there's like 6 signs that are out. And I'm like, hey, like you got 14 other signs like hiding somewhere. They're like, no, I didn't have time and this and that. Well, the people that put out the majority of the signs are the ones that are getting the most traffic. And so, and we're not just depending on putting it up on the MLS and for Zillow to shoot it out to everyone and for everyone that has saved our search to come and visit us. The best leads are the ones that are seeing us from the signs, or we're taking traffic from new construction, we're taking traffic from other open houses in the area. And that's why we have so many more signs. And if you think about the signs are going to direct your next commission check to the open house, then you're going to put out your signs with really precise and strategic accuracy.
Sure. And then is there any tips that you give your agents on like the direction of the signs that make it easier so that people are getting to your house? How many different sides of the neighborhood are you coming doing the signs?
Yeah. No, I mean it's just like uh again, I would say, and I always tell our agents because they start overthinking, about things. And I'm like, look, imagine that there is a car with a $12,000 check in it that has to find its way to your open house. So if there's three entrances to the neighborhood, you make sure that every single entrance is placarded with these signs, right? And then driving that, like if we don't have Google Maps, if for whatever reason it all shuts down during your open house, they need to be able to find it from all the major intersections around the neighborhood. If there's three, then all three, right? And direct them to your open house. But if not, that $12,000 check isn't going to find you.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. To basically kind of dummy proof it is what I'm hearing, is
Yeah.
to make sure all the signs are close enough together, having enough signs, because I know down there's lots of big master plan communities, right? And
Yep.
so you may drive through three neighborhoods before you get to the one where your open house is. So that makes lots of sense to me. Is there anything that you're doing outside of the signs, the circle prospecting? Are you having any like vendors? Are you doing anything special at like prepping for the event?
Not really. No. I try not to have the vendors, come and be a part of it. They cloud up everything. Personally, I don't like it. But like, and you'll have like the inspectors that seek out the open houses and try to talk to everyone. I just politely ask them to leave. Because, I've done all the work to prep this, to put it together, so I don't want any other vendor coming in and sabotaging my efforts. Now, the other thing is that what I will do is put it out on the MLS and make sure that I have plenty of time to let everyone know we are going to have an open house. Wednesday, Thursday is plenty of time. But also, what I like to do is use it as an opportunity for content, right? Now,
Yeah,
some people are like I'm going to put this out there and, on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, or whatever, and people are going to come to my open house from this. Unless you're like running ads on this and it's a unicorn of a property, they're probably not, right? Like it is used for content, not necessary, and to build that trust account in your followers to see for them to see like, okay, Cole's working. Like Cole's not just like collecting a 3% commission. He's actually doing the damn thing. And so for me, I use open houses as great content. Like before, hey, look, going to be doing an open house over here. Beautiful property. If you're in the area, swing by and let's hang out for a little bit, right? That's it. But I use it for really just building trust in the eyes of my followers.
sure. That makes total sense. And I always joke with our agents, we don't do a whole lot of sphere business. We kind of treat it as an opportunity of if someone that we know chooses to work with us, it's a blessing, it's an honor, but we're never like hoping my grandma's going to buy a house because she's probably not.
Yeah.
She's been living there since the 60s. Love you, grandma. But um, that makes total sense. I think the only other question I want to ask you is we have a lot of single agents that follow us, and maybe they don't have their own listings. If you were a single agent, you didn't have a listing to do an open house at, and you were going to select a home, what are some things that you've noticed that have brought people out to open houses and when they're selecting that house?
Well, it depends, right? I'm working with a lot of our agents and then agents that I coach to bring their price point up, their average price point up. And so now we're being very strategic about the properties that we're looking at. A coaching client of mine, he did 48 home sales last year. His average price point was 230,000, 240,000. And so we want to bring that up. And so what we've been doing is sitting and doing open houses in the 500 to $600,000 range because people that are looking in that range are going to buy from 450 to 750, right?
Yep.
So that's a great range, and that's a good way to. One of our agents already brought his average price point up $139,000 this year already. He's brought it up. And so it definitely works if you want to be able to strategically do things like that. But I would say if you don't have your own listings, get with a brokerage or a team that will allow you to host their listing agents' listings, and they need the help, right? So many top listing agents need the help because their clients are expecting an open house or want an open house. Unless they've sold them against it, but they want the open house. They just are one person. They can't hold nine open houses. So partner up with a listing agent. Say, hey, do you mind if I hold this property open? And it's just as simple as that. In your brokerage or your team, and then start holding them open. That's where I started. I was on a team and I did an open house every single Saturday and Sunday for 2 years. It was my birthday. I didn't care. It was a holiday. Didn't care. Like I was in the open house, and that's how we built up a very strong book of business. I had an agent come to my team meeting yesterday. He's not even an agent yet. He just retired from U.S. Marshals. He was my client 9 years ago. Met him in the open house, sold him a beautiful house, about to sell that house again, but he's thinking about getting his license. And he was like, "Hey, can I join you for a team meeting, see what it's all about?" Open houses absolutely work, and they've built very deep relationships over the years if you stay top of mind with them.
That's amazing. And, every person that we've had on this podcast, and we're running out of time, but they've all said the same thing. And I've probably said this 15 times now. I don't know what episode this is, but the main thing here is consistency, right? Like you didn't just do one open house and hope you sold one, right? You did,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what's the math on that. You did over 100 open houses. So that's amazing. That's awesome. Is there anything else you want to add on this part of the episode?
No, just like just to piggyback on what you just said, most agents will do something like one or two times, and then like no one comes to the open house, and they're like, "Well, that didn't work." Well, you put out four signs, you didn't call, you didn't door knock, you didn't do anything to drive traffic to it. And so at the end of the day, like, and even if you did all of that and you had no traffic, like you have to look around you and say, like, yeah, like Cole, like built his whole business on open houses. So it does work. Objectively, it does work, but you might have had a bad day. So do it again tomorrow. Like do it 30 times. And if no one comes, then it doesn't work, right? But if you
Sure.
do it 30 times, you are going to get a ton of business. Everyone knows that. It's just most people don't want to be consistent enough to see that result.
Fair. It's just like going to the gym. I mean,
Yep.
just like that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cole, for coming on our show. I'm excited to talk with you on the next episode about what to do when they come to your real estate dealership.
Awesome. Me too. Thanks. Thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Thanks.